Hey Nathan, how are you doing?
Very good, very good.
So, good evening, folks. Welcome back. I'm here with Nathan Ashtekar. Nathan is my brother-in-law, if you remember. Those of you who went and had a chance to look at our last tribute to Mukesh, which is available online on YouTube and Facebook, will recall that both of us live in New Jersey, and we're back. We're back because our fans wanted us back. At least that's what we'd like to think. Anyway, today we're offering a tribute to Sachin Dev Burman, S.D. Burman, as all of us know him. Actually, S.D. Burman was known as Dada. That was something that Devanand called him. And so we all know that S.D. Burman is a well-known music director, composer, singer, and he was born on October the 1st in 1906 in what is today Bangladesh. And that is why we plan to present our tribute to him on that day, October 1. Now, very quickly, his mother was a royal princess. I don't know if you knew that. I was surprised. She was a royal princess of Manipur, and his father was the Maharaja of Tripura. Amazing. SD was the youngest of 5 sons and of 9 children, and actually his mom passed away when he was just 2 years of age. So, we have a selection of songs that Nathan and I have put together. They are our favorites, and we hope that they are yours too. Nathan is a big fan of S.D. Burman, the voice. I am a huge fan of S.D. Burman, the voice, and much more the singing, the music that is. So, anyway, here we go. Nathan?
Let me start with Hemant Kumar song first. That is from film Jal, Sunja Dil Ki Dastaan. Music by S.D. Burman, of course. ये रात ये चांदनी फिर कहाँ सुन जा दिल की दास्तान ये रात ये चांदनी फिर कहाँ सुन जा दिल की दास्तान शाखों पे सोई सोई चांदनी पेड़ों के शाखों पे तेरे ख्यालों में खोई खोई चांदनी और थोड़ी देर में थक के लौट जाएगी रात ये बहार की फिर कभी न आएगी दो एक पल और ये समा सुन जा दिल की दास्तान भीगी हवाओं में ठंडी ठंडी आग है, इस हसीन आग में तू भी जल के देख ले, जिंदगी के गीत की धुन बदल के देख ले, खुल दे अब धड़कनों की जुबान, सुन जा दिल की दास्तां। Beautiful song. जाती बहार है, जाती बहार है, उठती जवानियाँ, जाती बहार है, तारों के छाँव में कहली कहानियाँ, एक बार चल दिए घर तुझे पुकार के, लौट कर न आएंगे काफिले बहार के। एक बार चल दिए घर तुझे पुकार के, लौट कर न आएंगे काफिले बहार के। आजा अभी जिंदगी है जवान, सुन जा दिल की दास्तां, ये रात ये चांदनी फिर कहाँ, सुन जा दिल की दास्तां, दास्तां, दास्तां। Thank you.
Nathan, that was very nice. Lovely song. So this was obviously Hemant Kumar, and was a 1952 film. So I'm going to stay with Hemant Kumar. We're going to go a little bit later, 1958, and we're going to do a song from Soba Sal, which is Hai Apna Dil. है अपना दिल तो आवारा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा, न जाने किस पे आएगा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा, न जाने किस पे आएगा। हसीनों ने बुलाया, गले से भी लगाया, बहुत समझाया, यही न समझा। हसीनों ने बुलाया, गले से भी लगाया, बहुत समझाया, यही न समझा। बहुत भोला है बेचारा, न जाने किस पे आएगा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा, न जाने किस पे आएगा। अजब है दीवाना, न डर न ठिकाना, ज़मीं से बेगाना, फलक से जुदा। अजब है दीवाना, न डर न ठिकाना, ज़मीं से बेगाना, फलक से जुदा। ये एक टूटा हुआ तारा न जाने किस पे आएगा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा न जाने किस पे आएगा। जमाना देखा सारा है सबका सहारा, ये दिल ही हमारा हुआ न किसी का। जमाना देखा सारा है सबका सहारा, ये दिल ही हमारा हुआ न किसी का। सफर में है ये बंजारा न जाने किस पे आएगा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा न जाने किस पे आएगा। हुआ जो कभी राजी तो मिला नहीं काजी, जहां पे लगी बाजी वहीं पे हारा। हुआ जो कभी राजी तो मिला नहीं काजी, जहां पे लगी बाजी वहीं पे हारा। जमाने भर का नाकारा न जाने किस पे आएगा, है अपना दिल तो आवारा न जाने किस पे आएगा। I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
So folks, you heard two songs by Hemant Kumar, and Hemant Kumar actually was chosen by Devanand and S.D. Burman for the Jal song that Nitin sang from the film Jal in 1952. And Hemant Kumar never forgot that. Hemant Kumar always gave credit to S.D. Burman and to Devanand for his early success. So that's interesting to know. So a little bit more about S.D. Burman. Apart from being a versatile composer of over 20 Bengali films and 89 Hindi films, Dada also sang songs in what is called a light semi-classical and folk style of Bengal. He was very influenced by that folk style from where he came, from Bengal. And you can see that in a lot of the films actually. Nitin is going to do a song from Amar Prem and you'll see that. So he actually sang 14 songs that are Hindi and 13 Bengali songs in that genre, and again, Nitin is going to do one of them. Additionally, he sang a total of 131 folk songs. Now, this is before he came to Bombay, before he did anything, because remember, he began in the early 1920s as a radio singer on a Calcutta radio station, and that's when he sang these folk songs. Around that time, then he married his student, Meera Das Gupta, and it was interesting because he married a known royal. If you remember, he came from royalty. Because he married a known royal, it caused a furor in that royal family, both families. And subsequently, he severed ties with his family, and he forfeited his inheritance. All in the name of love. Back to Nathan.
As Maksud said, this is from Amar Prem and sung by none other than S.D. Burman. I'm going to try. सजना के द्वारों होली में बिठाए के कहाँ बीते दिन खुशियों के चाँद देखे दुख मन को हजारों होली में बिठाए के कहाँ मर के निकलना था मर के निकलना था घर से सावरिया के जीते जी निकलना पड़ा ओ फूलों जैसे पाँव में पड़ गए छाले रे कांटों पे जो चलना पड़ा पतझड़ बन गई पतझड़ बन गई पतझड़ बैरंग बहार होली में बिठाए के कहाँ जितने हैं आंसू मेरी हो जितने हैं आंसू मेरी अखियों में उतना नदियाँ में नहीं रहती ओ लिखने वाले तूने लिख दी ये कसी मेरी टूटी नैया जैसी तकदीर उठा माझी ओ माझी उठा माझी ओ माझी रे उठा माझी उठे पतवार होली में बिठाए के कहाँ Thank you.
So that was wonderfully done, Nathan. You should be very proud of that. So you could hear the light folk tunes that I was talking about before, from influenced by the state of Bengal. So that was in 1971. We're going to now move to 1975, and this is a lovely film, a simple film, yet very, very well received. And this was, I believe, the last film that SD composed for. And there's a story around the songs that Kishore Kumar sang, and how the other song from Millie, which is Badi Suni Suni Hai, that was actually the very last song. It was actually recorded literally while he was not well, S.D. Burman. And S.D. Burman wanted Kishore to go and to record it right away. And Kishore didn't want to do that because he wanted to be by his side along with R.D. Burman. And we'll talk about R.D. in a minute. S.D. Burman insisted that Kishore go and record the song. Kishore Kumar actually even tried to say, Dada, my voice is not well today, and I don't want to go. And he said, no, you need to go, you need to go. He went and he recorded the song. He brought a copy. S.D. Burman heard it and then passed away. That was in October of 1975. So this is another song from Millie, and it's 1975. Aaye tum yaad mujhe. आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन, खुशबू लाए पवन, महका चंदन। आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन। सपना तेरा आए, उस पल मौसम पर मेहंदी रच जाए, और तू बन जाए जैसे दुल्हन। आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन। जब मैं रातों में तारे गिनता हूँ, और तेरे कदमों की आहट सुनता हूँ, लगे मुझे हर तारा तेरा दर्पण। आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन। So needless to say, this was an Amitabh and Jaya, and it was a lovely film. 1975. I was in Ferguson College in Pune, and I used to remember going to see this film at Nataraj at the Deccan Camp. हर पल मन मेरा मुझसे कहता है, जिसकी धुन में तू खोया रहता है, भर दे फूलों से उसका दामन। आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन, खुशबू आई पवन, महका चंदन। आए तुम याद मुझे, गाने लगी हर धड़कन। Thank you. Lovely. I hope you liked it.
Very good. Remember Kishore Kumar?
A little bit of SD's voice through Nathan, and then we heard some soulful music that he gave for Millie. Again, a very emotional film, but also Kishore did a great job, Kishore Kumar, for those songs. Now, so last time we talked about him, we talked about Dada getting married to Meera Das Gupta and forfeiting his inheritance, if you remember. Now, so this is in the mid-30s, 1930s. So he begins to do some singing, and he did the singing role in an Urdu film called Salima, so Selima. This was in 1934, and right after that he did another role in Dhiren Ganguly's film Bidrohi. That was in 1935. Now, it was in 37 actually that he began his career full-fledged, if you will, in Bengali films. He ended up composing music for, as I said, a lot of Hindi films and Bengali films. And this is around the time when their only son is born, R.D. Burman, 1939, and he would later on be called Pancham. So in 1944, this is when S.D. Burman moves to Bombay, but I'll tell you more about that after Nathan does his song. Right now, Nathan is going to do a song from Ziddi. Nathan?
This is funny and sad song. I don't know what to say about it. It's a beautiful song. Music by S.D. दुनिया बनाने वाले सुन ले मेरी कहानी रोए मेरी मोहब्बत तड़पे तड़पे मेरी जवानी प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया जाने फिर क्यों जलाती है दुनिया मुझे जाने फिर क्यों जलाती है दुनिया मुझे प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया मैं तो रोता फिरूं पागलों की तरह कंडिया है भरूं पागलों की तरह मैं तो रोता फिरूं पागलों की तरह अरे मैं तो रोता फिरूं मैं तो रोता फिरूं बादलों की तरह ठंडिया है भरूं पागलों की तरह जाने फिर क्यों जाने फिर क्यों रुलाती है दुनिया मुझे प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया बात जब मैं करूं मुँह से निकले धुआं जल गया मेरे दिल का जहां बात जब मैं करूं मुँह से निकले धुआं बात जब मैं करूं मुँह से निकले धुआं अरे जल गया मेरे दिल का जहां जाने फिर क्यों जाने फिर क्यों सताती है दुनिया मुझे प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया प्यार की आग में तन बदन जल गया तन बदन गया.
So, this is a fun song. It's a fun song, and if you did not guess, this was by Manna Dey. And SD was, he used, I say used, but he worked with almost all singers. I mean, he was very, he picked up on, obviously, Rafi did a lot of songs, Kishore did a lot of songs, Hemant Kumar, we heard about Manna Dey now, and then obviously on the female voices, Lata Mangeshkar and Asha Bhosle. There was a time actually when there was a problem that he had a little bit with Lata Mangeshkar, and we'll talk about that as we go through. Right now, let's move on to another song by Hemant Kumar, and this is a lovely, lovely, lovely film, Baat Ek Raat Ki, and it's, I know you know the song, so here we go. 1962, Baat Ek Raat Ki. Hemant Kumar.
I like the words.
This is lovely, lovely. मगर लगता है कुछ ऐसा मिल गया न तुम हमें जानो न हम तुम्हें जाने मगर लगता है कुछ ऐसा मेरा हमदम मिल गया ये मौसम ये रात चुप है वो होठों की बात चुप है खामोशी सुनाने लगी है दास्तां ये मौसम ये रात चुप है वो होठों की बात चुप है खामोशी सुनाने लगी है दास्तां नजर बन गई है दिल की ज़बान न तुम हमें जानो न हम तुम्हें जाने मगर लगता है कुछ ऐसा मेरा हमदम मिल गया मोहब्बत के मोड़ के हम मिले सबको छोड़ के हम धड़कते दिलों का लेके ये कारवां मोहब्बत के मोड़ पे हम मिले सबको छोड़ के हम धड़कते दिलों का लेके ये कारवां चले आज दोनों जाने कहाँ न तुम हमें जानो न हम तुम्हें जाने मगर लगता है कुछ गम मिल गया. Thank you. So we talked about the fact that Rahul Dev Burman Pancham was born in 1939, and I told you 1944 he moves to Bombay, right? So he moves to Mumbai. At that time it was Bombay, and I still call it Bombay. And this was at the request of Sasandar Mukherjee. This is a big person at Filmistan. And he asked S.D. Burman to give the score for two films, not one, two films, that starred one of the biggest stars at that time, the brother of Kishore Kumar, Ashok Kumar. So 1946 is when those two films are produced, and the first was Shikari, and the second was Art Din. And but his first breakthrough, his major breakthrough for S.D. Burman, for Dada, came the following year with another film that the company did, so still Ashok Kumar, which is Do Bhai, and the song is Mera Sundar Sapna Beet Gaya. That was sung by Geeta Dutt. And that was his breakthrough song in the film industry. That's what made his mark. In 1949 came Shabnam, which was also another big film. It was, in fact, his biggest hit film with Filmistan, especially noticeable for its multilingual song called Ye Duniya Roop Ki Chor by Shamshad Begum. So again, different, a lot of different voices. That became a rage in those days. So after being in Bombay for 3-4 years and making all these films, getting a lot of success, however, S.D. Burman, the purist, the artist, became disillusioned by Bombay's materialism, and he tried to return to Calcutta. Now, luckily Nitin, for us and a lot of his fans, he was dissuaded from doing so. More after the song by Nitin from Talash.
Thank you, Muksun. This song is really, for me, I feel really a challenging song, because this is really, every time when I start this song, start singing, I get emotional. But I'll try not to do it now, not to do it today. This is Meri Duniya Hai Meri Maa from film Talash. That was 1969 film.
And you're dedicating it?
And I'm dedicating it to my mother and every mother, and of course even my mother India. मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरी आंचल में, मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरे आंचल में, शीतल छाया तू दुख के जंगल में, मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरी आंचल में। तेरी दो अखियाँ, तेरी दो अखियाँ, ओ मुझे गीता से बड़ी तेरी दो बत्तियाँ, तेरी दो बत्तियाँ, युग में मिलता पल में, मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरी आंचल में। के लिए। ये चरण तेरे माँ, ये चरण तेरे माँ। ओ देवता प्याला लिए दर पे खड़े माँ, दर पे खड़े माँ। अमृत सबका, अमृत सबका है इस गंगा जल में। मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरी आंचल में। तल छाया तू दुख के जंगल में। मेरी दुनिया है माँ तेरी आंचल में। Thank you. Thank you.
You're right, Nathan. This is a difficult song. You did a good job. And it is, as you say, very, very emotional. And well done, though. Well done. So we're going to move to a lighter song. This is from the film Munimji. And it's a fun song that you've heard many, many, many times. And it was filmed on Devanand. And 1955, like I said. So here we go. जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को और दे जाते हैं यादें तन्हाई में तड़पाने को। ओ हो ओ हो ओ हो ओ हो। जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को और दे जाते हैं यादें तन्हाई में तड़पाने को। ये रूप की दौलत वाले कब सुनते हैं दिल के नाले। ओ ये रूप की दौलत वाले कब सुनते हैं दिल के नाले। तकदीर न बस में डाले इनके किसी दीवाने को। जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को और दे जाते हैं यादें तन्हाई में तड़पाने को। जो इनकी नजर से खेले दुख पाए मुसीबत झेले। ओ जो इनकी नजर से खेले दुख पाए मुसीबत झेले। फिरते हैं ये सब अलबेले दिल लेके मुकर जाने को। जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को और दे जाते हैं यादें तन्हाई में तड़पाने को। दिल लेके दगा देते हैं एक रोग लगा देते हैं। दिल लेके दगा देते हैं एक रोग लगा हंस के जला देते हैं ये हुस्न के परवाने को। जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को, और दे जाते हैं यादें तन्हाई में तड़पाने को। ओ हो ओ हो ओ हो ओ हो। Thank you.
Very good.
Heard a lovely song that was filmed on Devanand, and S.D. Burman Dada had a great, actually Devanand called S.D. Burman his soulmate. That's what he called him, soulmate. He had a great partnership with Devanand, and in Devanand actually was introduced to S.D. Burman by Devanand's good friend, very close friend, Guru Dutt. And Guru Dutt and Devanand have a long relationship, and that's how they meet. S.D. Burman, and then Devanand is very impressed with what he sees with S.D. Burman, and he signs up for his first film right away, Afsar. They went on to make amazing films, very memorable films like Guide, Prem Puchari, Munimji, you heard the song from Munimji, Nau Do Gyara, Tere Ghar Ke Samne, I'm going to sing a song from Tere Ghar Ke Samne later, Paying Guest, Kala Pani, and Jewel Thief. Later on, interestingly enough, Dada had a big disagreement with Devanand.
Okay.
And it had to do with the title song for Devanand's film, big blockbuster film, Hare Rama Hare Krishna.
Okay.
S.D. Burman did not like the storyline about the drug use and all that, and he didn't want one of his songs to be used for that. So that was interesting, right? Now, I mentioned to you earlier about Lata Mangeshkar and S.D. Burman. It's an interesting twist. It was in 1957. S.D. Burman fell out with Lata Mangeshkar, and he didn't want her to sing for any of his songs. So guess what? He found that Lata's younger sister, Asha Bhosle, was also a singer, and he took her instead. The team of S.D. Burman, Kishore Kumar, Asha Bhosle, and lyricist Majzur Sultanpuri became popular for all the amazing duet songs. And there's a whole, we could do like 2 shows on that. And we'd have to get somebody to sing the Asha part. I'm not doing that. Now, so if you think of it, right? So S.D. Burman, along with O.P. Nayyar, you may recall him, the two of them shaped Asha Bhosle's career and made her a singer of repute. And eventually, as you well know, she became his daughter-in-law when she married R.D. Burman. In 58, so that was in 57, around that time. In 58, S.D. Burman gave song for Kishore Kumar's house production of Chalti Ka Naam Gadi. And it's important not because just for that fact, but that was the year that he was awarded the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, which is a big deal. And that was for the film Sujata. And Sujata remains the only, and so S.D. Burman, for this recognition, remains the only music director to have ever won this prestigious award. That's a big deal. In 61, S.D. Burman and Lata Mangeshkar did come together back together again, and they filmed R.D. Burman's first song for the movie Chote Nawab. That was in 1961. And they reconciled the differences, and then they began to sing again after that. So, right now, a lovely song that Nitin is going to do from Aradhana, 1969.
तूफान जिया तेरा सागर समान नजर तेरी का है ये नादान छलक गई गागर समान ओ जाने क्यों तूने क्यों आंसुओं से नैन भिगोए काहे को रोए चाहे जो होए सफल होगी तेरी आराधना काहे को रोए कहते हैं आत्मा की कोई आवाज नहीं होती, कोई रंग नहीं होता, आकार नहीं होता, लेकिन आत्मा की अगर आवाज हो तो कैसी हो। मुझे तो लगता है सचिन दा आपके आवाज की जैसी ही होगी। Thank you.
So let me just add a little bit. That was again a difficult song, but good job, Nathan. Let me tell you a little bit about Aradhana. Aradhana was 1969 now. So Aradhana is considered a landmark score in the Bollywood history. It shaped the careers of singer Kishore Kumar, whom SD regarded as his second son. So it was not just Kishore Kumar, but also lyricist Anand Bakshi and filmmaker Shakti Samant. According to Shakti Samant, who's the director, Mohammad Rafi was supposed to have sung all the songs in the film. All the songs. But he only sang 2. And the reason is because Mohammad Rafi at that time was on a 2-month-long tour, and they did not wait or want to wait for those 2 months. So guess what? S.D. Burman says, I have another son, Kishore Kumar.
Yes.
Why don't we use Kishore Kumar, he says, to sing for Rajesh Khanna, who's a newcomer. And Kishore agreed. As a matter of fact, there's a story about how Rajesh Khanna actually went to Kishore Kumar's house to meet with him right around that time, because Kishore said, you need to come to my house. And in those days, Rajesh Khanna did go to Kishore's house to meet him. Anyway, so all the songs became chartbusters hits, as you would well know, and it made Kishore Kumar an overnight sensation. Okay, so that's a little bit about Aradhana. I'll tell you a little bit more about Kishore Kumar and the connection after the next song that Nathan sings. But in the meantime, I promised you a song from Tere Ghar Ke Samne. This is a difficult song for me, but I'm going to attempt it, so forgive me in advance for any shortcomings. So this is a Mohammad Rafi song. And what is interesting is that when you look over his career, S.D. Burman had most songs sung by Mohammad Rafi and Kishore Kumar. And if you look at the numbers, they're almost equal. Rafi sang as many songs as Kishore did, even though we think that there's a lot of connection with Kishore. And that has to do obviously with the connection with Asha, so the duets are different. Anyway, Tere Ghar Ke Samne, 1963, and this is again Rafi's song, and it was filmed on Devanand and Nutan. दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे फूल तुम गुलाब का, क्या जवाब आपका, जो अदा है वो बहार है। आज दिल की बेकली आ गए जुबां पर, ये है तुमसे प्यार है, दिल तुम्हीं को दिया रे, प्यार का राग सुनो रे, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे। चाहे तुम मिटाना पर ना तुम गिराना, आंसू की तरह निगाह से, प्यार की ऊंचाई इश्क की गहराई पूछ लो हमारी आह से, आसमां छू लिया रे, प्यार का राग सुनो रे, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे। इस हंसी उतार के हम न बैठे हार के, साया बन के साथ हम चले, आज मेरे संग तू, गूंजे दिल की आरज़ू, तुझसे मेरी आंख जब मिले, जाने क्या दर्द दिया रे, प्यार का राग सुनो रे, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे। Thanks a lot.
Very nice.
So, I mentioned to you that Kishore Kumar had a special relationship with S.D. Burman, Dada, right? S.D. Burman used to treat him as a son, but S.D. Burman was very particular about how he wanted his songs to be sung. The reason he sang a lot of the songs that you heard Nitin sing is because he did not want anybody else to sing it, because he knew how he wanted it to sound. So many times he said, I'm going to sing my song. So I'm going to share with you something that my favorite uncle told me and has told me before. And he's a singer on his own right. And he always says, Maksud, you have to remember the sur. Don't forget the sur. And the emotion. So you know who you are, and this is an ode to you, my favorite uncle. So coming back to S.D. Burman, he actually, because he knew what he wanted to say, and because he was the composer, and because he used to sing before, he would actually use Bengali words. So imagine this, right? So he composes the music, the lyricist writes the song in Hindi, and then let's say Kishore is going to sing it. So S.D. Burman would actually sing the song the way he wants it sung, using Bengali words that mean nothing to anybody but him. And then Kishore would have to then translate the music, the words, and then use the Hindi words. So very, very, very particular. So Kishore Kumar was actually made famous by S.D. Burman, and Kishore has said that in other many interviews. The word that is used is that S.D. Burman is credited for molding Kishore Kumar's voice. Now, interestingly enough, Kishore Kumar says, and I saw this recently in an interview, he says, and honestly, it's an old interview, but he said that when he was young, he only bought records of two people. S.D. Burman and K.L. Saigal. That's it.
Okay.
Those are the two. And as we know, he was influenced by both. Kishore talks about. So remember when S.D. Burman came to Bombay and he made 2 films with Ashok Kumar. So Ashok Kumar knew S.D. Burman, so Kishore Kumar knew that. So he tells his brother, he says, Dada Muni, that was Ashok Kumar, right? So he tells his brother Ashok Kumar, he says, why don't you take me to and have me meet this S.D. Burman guy? Because Kishore Kumar wanted to get into singing and all that, more than what he was doing. So Ashok Kumar says, okay, fine, I'll introduce you. They go to his house, S.D. Burman's house, and Ashok Kumar says to S.D. Burman, this is my younger brother. He sings a little. He sings a little. So S.D. Burman looks at him and says, oh, okay. Why don't you sing something? So Kishore Kumar...
Can I sing that song? Just a second. Just the one line.
Okay, so let me just finish the thought. And so Kishore Kumar, and maybe that's what you're going to do. So what Kishore Kumar does, when S.D. Burman says, sing a song for me, Kishore Kumar sings a song in S.D. Burman's style, which is Dheere Se Jana Khatiyan Mein. S.D. Burman is so impressed. Go ahead.
And that was Bengali song, I believe.
Yes.
Rangila, 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 re, rangila.
Anyway, so as I said, S.D. Burman is so impressed that Kishore did what he did. Kishore was good at mimicry and he obviously could sing. So he gave him a few lines in a movie called Art Din. I mentioned that before. It was one of the films Ashok Kumar was working in. But his Kishore Kumar's real first song was in the movie Bahar. Huzur Aapka Mera Naam Lijiye. That was the name of the song. And this is also the time when Kishore Kumar meets Pancham, R.D. Burman, whom we know is going to sing many, many, many hit songs in the coming years. Now, Kishore Kumar also talks about the fact that S.D. Burman gave him tips and counsel, even when he didn't want it probably, and also connected him to Devanand, and that was with Bazi, Tere Tiro Mein. That was a small little bit of a piece that he gave him in Bazi. And then Kishore Kumar and Devanand became a pair, as it were, in a movie that S.D. Burman was helping out called Fatush, which is Dukhi Man Mere. That was the real thing. And Kishore Kumar recalls S.D. Burman's dedication. He used to call him sometimes as early as 6 in the morning to share a song or give him a tip, and as late as 11 o'clock at night. So this was that was the connection that they had. So I'll have a couple parting words, but Nitin has a song that he wants to sing from Sujata. Go ahead, Nitin.
It's one of the classics of S.D. Burman. Sun mere bandhu re, sun mere mitwa, sun mere saathi re. Hota tu pipal mein होती अमर लता तेरी, होता तो पीपल में होती अमर लता तेरी, तेरे गले माला बनके बड़ी मुस्काती रे, सुन मेरे साथी रे, मेरे बंधु रे, सुनो मेरे मितवा, सुनो मेरे साथी रे। जिया कहे तू सागर में होती तेरी नदियाँ, जिया कहे अगर मैं होती तेरी नदी यहाँ लहर बहर करती अपने पिया से मिल जाती रे सुनो मेरे साथी रे सुनो मेरे बंधु रे सुनो मेरे मितवा सुनो मेरे साथी रे सुनो मेरे बंधु रे सुनो मेरे मितवा सुनो मेरे साथी रे Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. So, just a couple of parting words. I mentioned to you before that it was in 1975 that actually in October. So he was born on October 1 and he passed away on October 31st of October 1975, and he went on to conduct that great orchestra in the heavens. Now, when you talk about legacy, right? S.D. Burman has obviously a tremendous legacy that he left behind, not just all the songs, all the movies, all the ones that he sang, the ones that he did music for, the artists that he helped bring to us, introducing Hemant Kumar early on, giving him a chance, and giving Kishore Kumar a chance, and then we heard about Asha Bhosle and obviously R.D. Burman. And so there's something else that I want to leave you with. I don't know if you know this. Did you know that the Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar, you've heard of him? I think you've heard of him. Did you know that his name was given to him by Tendulkar's grandfather, who was a big fan of Dada, S.D. Burman?
I did not know that.
Well, hey, that's what we're here. So thank you again for being with us. We appreciate it. Nathan and I want to thank you, and I'm sure he wants to say a few words. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that this brings you back some memories of your emotions and your connection with S.D. Burman and his music and his legacy. Thank you.
Just wanted to say again, thank you. Thank